Today we're taking a look at an upcoming game called Seven Skies to Paradise. This is coming out on Steam on September 6th, but you can download a demo today and check it out for yourself. The game's developer actually reached out to me a while back asking me if I could check it out, and it is my honor to do so. So I played through the demo and here are my thoughts. So this game is described as an adventure exploration game, and it has some top-down shooter elements to it as well. It's a very artistic game. The first thing you'll probably notice is the art style, the visuals. Everything looks like a painting come to life, kind of like a watercolor painting with some sketches thrown in there. The cutscenes are all like these illustrations, and then the game itself, it's this beautiful moving painting, so to speak. That's what it looks like anyway, and I think it looks really cool. It's funny because when the developer told me about it, he said it was inspired by games like Gris, Journey, and Ori. And if you've been around this channel for a while, you might remember that I really wasn't a fan of Gris or Journey for various reasons, but I actually do like this game so far, what I've played. I think the difference here is that it does have combat, so there's a bit of challenge to it, and I thought the story was really captivating on this one as well. So the game starts out with a little bit of a prologue and an intro cinematic. It explains the world setting here. It's like the world is sort of in ruins, but it is said that there are 7 skies above our own sky. And every year, humanity sends out 2 pilots to explore the skies above our own. 6 skies are dangerous, madness, but above those 6 layers is a 7th sky that is supposed to be paradise, and they're hoping that 2 pilots will one day make it to the 7th sky and kind of lead the way for the rest of humanity's salvation, so to speak. Unfortunately, every year 2 pilots go out and nobody has ever returned. So then in the prologue, the sort of tutorial level, we are playing as a father who is a pilot, and he's up in the sky with his young daughter. And you kind of learn the ropes here of the game. You learn how to control your ship and kind of do some target practice against low stakes enemies and get a feel for the game. It's very floaty because you're piloting this thing that looks like some sort of a zeppelin, and so wind is a big deal. You have to pay attention to which direction the wind is blowing, because if you're trying to go up against the wind, you're pretty much going to be at a standstill. You want to kind of use the wind in your favor. You can also shoot in any direction, but you can't just rapidly fire at everything. There is a delay between shots. Everything looks like it's moving at a slow pace, but believe me, by the end of this thing, it's going to be feeling intense. Once you get to like the 2nd or 3rd level, where things really start to get heated up, despite how slow moving it may actually be, oh man, I was feeling very tense, but we'll come back to that. Fast forward past that first intro, and you find out that, big surprise, the father is being selected to go on this expedition. He's one of the 2 pilots, so he gets sent away, and then we fast forward into the future. Little girl's all grown up, and she is a pilot, and she is setting out on a quest to find her father, basically, and see if she can make it to the 7th sky, to paradise, and hopefully find her dad alive. And this is where things start to get really interesting as well. Here we start to get some real challenge. We start to see some real interesting stuff going on. In the intro, we learn that, these islands, this home of theirs, they're shrinking because of global warming. And then fast forwarding to the future, the next level, we see these high-rise buildings that are just covered in water, and there's like toxic clouds in the sky, so you gotta avoid those. You're exploring this area and you've got to pick up, health along the way because you've got enemy ships firing at you. It's a real dark, real kind of devastated landscape you're in, and you're just trying to find the exit, trying to find the next level essentially. Along the way, you're going to be checking out wrecked ships, basically, see if there are any survivors, if anybody needs help. And you're going to be running away from and fighting off enemies in these dogfights. All the while, you're trying to avoid these toxic clouds that are filling up the screen. So it starts getting a little intense here right away. And part of that is due to the floaty, kind of clunky nature of your ship. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like it's poor game design. Not at all. This was very purposeful. Your ship cannot just simply turn on a dime. It doesn't just quickly, pull a 180 and go this way and that way like in a shoot 'em up game. Your steering is based on sort of a wheel, so you have to kind of slowly turn your ship in each direction you're trying to go. Meanwhile, you're trying to work with the wind, and you're trying to avoid environmental hazards and enemy fire, and you're trying to shoot the enemies, and your cannonballs are not the fastest either, so you gotta kind of predict where and when your enemies are going to be lining up with your shots. It gets very hectic because there's a lot going on. Again, you're probably seeing this footage and thinking this looks so slow, but I'm telling you, it doesn't feel slow when you're in those situations. So by this point, I have some assumptions about the game. It's a message about climate change, and we're fighting other humans through these ruined areas, right? Well, hold up, not so fast, because the next level gets even crazier. So the final level of the demo puts you in the dry ocean, it's called, and it looks like you are underwater, but you're really not. You're still flying through the sky. There are all these mechanical fish flying around you, and they only pose a minor threat until you learn the objective of that level, which is you have to find some surviving fish, and you have to bring them to this big floating head, which is a little creepy until you grab the fish, and then everything gets dark. The robotic fish start coming at you and chasing after you, and the big face in the sky turns into this very scary looking, very evil looking face, but still you're feeding it these fish because you have to. That's your only way out of this. And on to the next stage. Man, when I first saw that thing, I was like, oh, I was a little taken aback. I was a little shocked. Very creepy, but very cool and very unique setting, and I can't wait to see where the rest of the game goes, honestly. This level gave me a decent challenge. I think I died once or twice here. I had a good time, and I really do think the story is very interesting. It's very captivating. I still have some ideas of where it could be going. What are you going to find at the end? Is your father there? Is this whole thing just a metaphor for life or death? Is it really just a warning to humanity about climate change? I don't know. It could go a lot of different directions, and I'm very interested to see how it goes. I'm actually excited to check out the full game when it comes out. It's part exploration, part dogfights, and it's a very cool mix. And of course, the whole thing is just very artistic, very full of style. The music is really nice. It goes from calm, atmospheric sounds to chill hip-hop beats to like intense synthwave stuff. It's a cool, varied soundtrack. I dig it. So if you like the look of this, if you like the sound of this, definitely go check out the demo on Steam. I completed it in about 40 to 45 minutes, so it's a decent length for a demo, and yeah, I think it's a cool taste of what's to come, and I'm excited to see what's to come as well. I think that's all I got to say for now. I look forward to the game's full release. I'll leave the link to the Steam page down below, and be sure to check it out for yourselves, guys. Thanks for watching today. I will see you next time. Take care.